And the guys back at the gatehouse next.
The head coaches, Ime.
Goon on the offensive side. See if he wants to guard on the perimeter.
Pajemski, Moses Moody, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green. Butler down the lane on the kick out. Moody catch and shoot three, and off iron there. For the Rockets, 14-2 in their last 16. Van Vliet, Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, Ben Thompson, and Alperen Şengün, the All-Star.
They're coming off a great win versus the Thunder.
They beat OKC and snapped their 11-game winning streak, and then the Lakers beat OKC this afternoon. Van Vliet misfiring. All four meetings have been decided by 7 or fewer points than the Warriors and Rockets this year. Every game incredibly competitive. Green trying to stay with Steph.
A rough one that you lost to go to Vegas, the semifinals of the NBA Cup. But you still feel like you owe this team as Draymond loses it. Van Vliet in there stood his ground.
Ben Thompson on the step around.
They will get the fast break points, and Thompson is one of the main reasons why. He is a supreme athlete.
Now throwaway. Pajemski, Moody unable to connect. Jalen Green on Filipino heritage player in NBA history after Raymond Thompson and Jordan Clarkson.
He's been playing well. Warriors actually guard him well in all the games they played him.
Pajemski missed the layup and the ricochet out to Moody. Moses took some physicality and couldn't finish there, so the Warriors are 0 for. The top 5 defensive teams in the last 2 months. Mention how hot the Warriors are, 21-5, and the Rockets at 14-2. A lot of winning for both squads. Şengün pulled the Davidsky off his back foot.
Forced him to break bad habits, and it's been a big turnaround, man. And the fact that they're in the second spot, getting ready for the playoffs, they have a tough rest of the season here. They got some playoff teams they got to go against. A Steph misses a three.
Dylan Brooks with the early seal and turns in 15 a game.
He missed their last game, so I'm sure he's ready for this one. Ready to cause havoc and be a pest.
Yeah, 16 technicals, the automatic suspension for Dylan Brooks. Pajemski, Brandon 3. Brandon at 26 against Denver. Building on that great night against the Lakers.
He's just making quick decisions as they come down, and Jalen Green misses another one. But Van Vliet on the Pajemski 3, he just stayed with the ball handler a little too long. Pajemski's making such quick decisions, he's making people pay.
Van Vliet is guarding Draymond. Warriors are trying to work on that. Draymond unable to capitalize. Moody the open 3. Those are the ones you have to hit against the Rockets.
Van Vliet is pretty smart, though. He pulled the chair out from under Draymond. Made him get off balance.
Şengün, very deep position, but Draymond still warding him off.
Draymond's talking to him, too.
Pajemski, how hot am I? How about back?
Feeling it for games on end here.
He's had 7 threes, 8 threes, 4 threes just this week in games.
But you just love seeing a guy like him string games together, find some consistency.
Moody denied. Jimmy Butler cleans it up.
That's why you never assume that they're going to make a layup there. Just follow it up. Jimmy Butler probably had his easiest layup of the season so far.
Yeah, particularly for Ben Thompson's around the rim. Don't assume anything. So good for a young player. Şengün plays a little like baby Jokic. Shot clock at 3. And Thompson denied by Pajemski.
Draymond defensively set a tone, the double team, and then they just made sure Thompson couldn't score in there.
And see Van Vliet, that championship pedigree, he knocked it away.
Draymond's raising his hand. You got to throw that up high. Throw it long.
Come on again. How many stops are we getting at point-blank range? Both these teams can guard. And Butler, there's going to be some physicality tonight.
They got some rim protection. Not just Thompson. Green got in there that time.
Off of Brooks. Kind of a wild one. Warriors have opened 3 of 12. The Rockets 3 of 10. Curry sidestep 3. And even Steph is offline.
I think the up and down, though, favors the Warriors. The flow. Anything to get some type of flow in this one.
I think you did not want to go against a set defense.
Well, that's the thing.
Sure, you're right on it.
And I think the Rockets would rather have it choppy and more of an ugly game.
Şengün's got Pajemski on a switch. Moody is lurking. The Warriors kind of sit in a little zone matchup now. They get back to man-to-man. Dillon Brooks hit one fadeaway and hits another one.
If someone dunks it, something good happens. Everybody's feeling good.
So Kuminga's first playing time with Buddy Hield, Steph and Draymond. Moody spinning around Şengün, but Dillon Brooks is there. You just see the recovery by the Rockets. Curry three, but is one of my favorite opponent players because he plays with an energy level equivalent to Guy Santos, and he's really good.
They got some good minutes off the bench in that Thunder game. Another turnover.
And he forced Steph into a turnover. So Dillon Brooks had a couple buckets. Taking it inside. So Dillon Brooks 3 of 3. And the Rockets back on top.
So that's 3 turnovers for 4 Rockets points.
This Van Vliet guarding Draymond is very interesting. Buddy Hield catch and shoot 3. You can use as he drops in the triple.
Yeah, if your bench could come up big tonight, that would be huge. The Warriors, the last 4 games, they've shot it really well. You could use a great shooting game tonight.
Tari Eason for 3, shot it long. And Kuminga, who has played exceptionally well against the Rockets. JK has averaged 25 a game in 3 of the meetings. Step back to Kuminga, perfectly done. 2-man jump and Steph, make him pay.
Shoot the initial 3, give it back to Steph as he relocates. Let the 2 defenders jump at him. Get you an easy one. Now you've seen one go in. Anything can happen for you.
Şengün with deep position. All that skill with the right hand, and he draws a foul.
Warriors are doing everything else, man. They're shooting.
Şengün, Turkey, his first All-Star nod this year. So Van Vliet will take Steph as Draymond sits and Looney in the game. Kuminga out to Payton for 3. A GP thumb ligament wrapped up, but he's been shooting 60% on threes for the better part of 3 weeks.
He loves those corners. What rust.
Jabari Smith checking in, and he gives them a perimeter score, and he's a great rebounder. Şengün on Looney.
Wow, he's so slippery. His game really reminds me of Jokic, man. He got so much game.
At age 22, where's the ceiling for Şengün? Jokic is 30 now, and you saw him get better and better every year. So Van Vliet's guarding Looney. Kuminga had the
3rd in the league now in bench points. The Rockets are 23rd, so that could be a big part of the game. Can you win that battle decisively, too?
Steven Adams is checked in. 6'11", 265, and Looney. That's exactly right. Perfectly done. So a 3-point lead in the ball, but you're in a wrestling match with an elite defensive team. This is not going to be pretty tonight. Buddy Hield has hit 2
there. So just Kuminga being involved in some of this action, we're getting some really good offense out of it.
Buddy 12 threes away from 7 straight years with 200 or more. Green missing that short. Curry pushing it back. Kuminga on Steven Adams. Settle for the foul line jumper and just rim it off.
And now on this side, you always have to keep Steven Adams off the glass. You see him fighting inside.
Steven Adams doesn't look for his own offense very often, but that deep position there just couldn't finish. Steph and Van Vliet. You think of Toronto and the Warriors in the finals. They double Steph and got it out of his hands. P2 getting bounced around, and Kuminga 3.
I think he surprised Easton there. There was no hesitation that time.
Van Vliet flipping it up and out. Man, you better come strong to the rim tonight.
You have some momentum here. Can you keep on it? Another turnover.
Kuminga throws it away. Jalen Green with that speed. GP2. Give me that. Took it away. And then out of bounds to be the best backcourt in the NBA. Jordan and whom? Jabari Smith missed there. Steven Adams
like that. But you had a body on Steven Adams that time. He had to do extra. Looney just getting in the fight. You're rewarded that time. You need more of that.
Have we ever seen Steven Adams and Jason Momoa in the same building at the same time?
You keep saying that.
Elbow jumper, Pajemski, rimming it home.
His shot profile, and he's finding angles to the basket. He's really comfortable with that mid-range, right around the free throw line now.
And Thompson soaring to the rim.
You get well. There's no space to recover.
Kuminga
For Jonathan Kuminga.
Jimmy Butler does a lot of things that help you win.
Yeah.
Just do what he says.
Now the Rockets are in the zone. Look at Looney in the middle here.
Butler driving the zone. Jemski on a sidestep three. Off the heel of the rim, and Şengün pushed. Warriors have committed only once. They'll have one to give.
Two people in the middle that time for a second.
Ime Udoka trying a lot of different defensive things. Kuminga shooting that three, and that's a win for the Rockets there.
You have Şengün coming out at you and closing out. You could show and go next time, make a play for someone else if you're Kuminga.
Want to go to Şengün, posting up. They clear a side for him. The double team makes him give it up. Shot clock at 7. Tari Eason denied by Looney. What a play by Kavon.
Well, first of all, it's an on-ball defense from Jimmy Butler. Don't give up a blow-by. You give your help some time.
Jemski mid-range. Looney tipping, and it wouldn't stay down. This way. We'll switch at halftime if that's all right for everybody.
If I was on the Warriors, I would have tried to get in there and confuse them. No, you guys are this way and make them score on
Throw
that
me
side.
the ball.
Yeah.
I'm headed the other way. Hey, baskets are important tonight. Aaron Holiday off the bench. Obviously, Justin won a championship. And Drew Holiday won one in Boston and Milwaukee.
Well, they've been shooting a three ball much better as a team. 38% like February or March and April. Not so much February, but March and April, they've shot it much better. And 11 more points offensively.
Yeah, I mean, that's 11 more points per game.
Yeah.
Think about that. So Aaron Holiday, Van Vliet with Şengün. Jabari Smith and Steven Adams. They've started to do this playing Şengün and Adams together. And they're just monsters compared to the Warriors, but if you can run the pachyderms, you would have a chance in the open floor.
Yeah, but since All-Star break, the double thing that brings more physicality. The Warriors have to meet that physicality as Moses Moody misses one.
Quentin Post first playing time. Van Vliet. To the rim, and here's the offensive rebounding and the size. The best offensive rebounding team in the NBA, the Rockets. Shot clock at 3. Şengün under 30% from 3, missing there. Another rebound. Jabari Smith. Moody getting on the deck. Moody
just okay doing the dirty work and getting all the offensive rebounds. His Warriors still a jump ball.
And Draymond read that perfectly.
You got Holiday on Jimmy Butler. You got to make that pay at some point.
Draymond missing that floater. Both teams at 34% shooting. I feel like I'm watching an NCAA tournament game. Behind the pass to Adams. Lost the handle there.
March Madness NCAA tournament has been catching strays from Fitz.
Nobody could shoot
all month.
Nobody could shoot. Jimmy Butler rattling it out.
Such a good take.
Jabari Smith can shoot. He bottoms his set.
Well, they're on a run right now. They have some momentum. You got Van Vliet and Holiday out there. You'd love to expose them, but they're in a zone, so they're always going to be on the top.
Yeah, the 2 small guys and the 3, 6, 11 guys on the back of the zone. Jemski finding Butler for the short corner 3, and Jimmy from deep.
You need some zone busters. You screen the zone, and then you threw it back to the weak side, and Şengün was just late reacting.
Şengün, nice finish.
He's got some dexterity. Doesn't look like it when you look at his body, but he shows it.
Moody cutting the baseline. Smith was there.
Amazing. He just his preparation mode. The officials are in preparation mode with free throws. Warriors hadn't been doing that as much lately, missing free throws.
And Warriors went from worst in the league to 4th best since acquiring Butler from the foul line. And Vliet. Tari Eason's got a good look at 3 and missed
there, but he just pulled the string on that one like crazy.
He bought 3.5 minutes of rest for Steph here. Butler out to Draymond, corner 3. Quentin Post keeping it alive, but Eason comes away with it. Van Vliet, undrafted. What a career he's had. Draymond knocked it away, but Eason comes up with it. Aaron Holiday had hit 1 3. Quentin Post challenge, but here's the offensive rebounding of the Rockets. And Eason finding Jabari's
here in position, but it was just a bad bounce. It bounced over him. They got the offensive rebound, and you see Jabari Smith Jr. uncovered.
This is the way the Rockets would want to play The Warriors still have the advantage, but Houston, they're rebounding. They're forcing Warrior misses. Quentin Post will get to
Yeah, get Steph back. Keep missing these free throws. Maybe that little
which way is which team going?
The argument they had or the discussion they had trying to figure that out threw the Warriors off.
So Curry back in. Warriors are down 8 in the minutes he set. Jabari Smith attacking, putting it up and in. Now when Smith, the Rockets have 5 games of 140 or more from March on. Their offense had come alive when he came back.
The Rockets finally took the lead. Jimmy Butler need his dominoes, and I played down. Everybody's banged up right now, and they'll have to make free throws again.
How many has he made in a row? 30.
There's that number.
Get back to it.
There's that number again.
So Butler now with 7. Running Aaron Holiday off the line. Tari Eason will tee up a 3. And Kuminga the rebound.
And they need Kuminga getting back to the boards as well.
JK had 9 boards in that Laker game and played so well. When you see 9 boards in 25 minutes, just good to see Kuminga stay in the game. He rolled that ankle, stepping on his foot. Buddy, he is
pass with GP2. They just kind of botched the coverage. Gave him space.
So GP2 and Jalen Green up top. Ben Thompson and Kuminga, Looney and Şengün. Steph trying to deal with Tari Eason. Better get a body on Eason on the glass, and Curry with a rebound.
That's the right idea. You want to force Thompson into tough jump shots.
Buddy, how hot am I? That one out. Ricochets to Jalen Green. So Green, prolific prep in Napa. He was actually born in Merced. And hitting the jump out, he just crashed into it. His free throw, Tari Eason comes up with it. And Dylan Brooks missing that 3. Kuminga back for the board. Very precarious right now. Steph still hasn't scored.
And they only have the 2 second chance points. So you've done well defending after you give up the offensive rebound.
GP2, if you lose him.
Şengün was on him, but he's like, well, I got to deal with Steph Curry. He's attacking us. Oh, they pass it to my man.
So good to see Gary back. Jalen Green missing there again. Volleyball. This game is testing your compete level.
Yeah, they're going to keep Şengün on GP2.
Make it. Şengün stood his ground. Dylan Brooks on Buddy Hield right to the rim. Kuminga headed the other way. Jeez. These one-hand passes cannot.
I think you got to give Dylan Brooks credit, bringing him over in his defensive and he's helping Jabari Smith Jr.
And they signed Fred VanVleet to a big contract as Looney gets. And VanVleet, people said, wow, it's a lot. You got to have some veterans.
That time you had Dylan Brooks in no man's land there, and Steph Curry made him pay. He's still willing to make the right pass, even though he's got 0 points right now against the Warriors. So he's looking to have a big game.
We said the 5th meeting because of the play-in reschedule. Warriors have won 3 of 4. Every game has been decided by 7 points or fewer. And today feeling exactly the same. Tari Eason with the turnaround and Looney with the rebound.
Multiple efforts there. The rotation was on point, and then you boxed out. Bodies on bodies.
So Steph still hasn't scored, and he turns it over again. Tari Eason running with Ben Thompson to dunk it down. You can't have that in this game if you're going to win it.
So that's 8 of them to 3 for the Warriors. They're leading in that battle. Points off turnovers. They're 16th in opponent points off. He missed it.
GP2 missed the layup, got his own rebound. Guy Santos in the lane, and another Warrior turnover. So they're being their own worst enemy right now because are fueling the Rockets' offense.
Yeah, they're 16th in opponent turnovers. They're not even that great there, but Warriors are kind of having some unforced ones.
The kitchen sink's getting thrown at Curry. So you're going to get layups and dunks by anybody in the roller spot.
2 defenders are staying with him. They're just not rotating over in time. Dylan Brooks was late.
Skip pass to Dylan Brooks for 3, and he's at Thier. And Dylan Brooks with 11. Jabari Smith with 10. The double-figure scores for the Rockets. Again, 2 guys on Steph in this transition. They're 9 of 30 in the half court. So the mission is clear if you can get up and down before the Rockets get their defense set. Jensky touch pass. GP2 missing that 3. I mean, are they going to shut out Steph Curry for an entire half? at home with the week he has had. I mean, that would really be an accomplishment.
I say he'd probably score at least once.
Van Vliet hitting. This is why the Rockets are the 2 seed in the West. It's why they're 14-2 in their last 16. They flatten Steph out to midcourt. It's a 4-on-3 again. And GP2, all he wants close to the rim. He's 4 of 6 for 9 points.
Because of all those Steph double teams. At some point, Steph is going to dribble out of some of these double teams and just try to beat that slow defender, Şengün.
Jalen Green, that athleticism. Butler sent him away. But Şengün,
he's always following it up.
Again, Payton one more time. GP2 leading the way with 11.
They're going to get intentional about throwing it ahead now.
Jalen Green, Steph working on him. Shot clock at 9. Şengün skip pass, and GP2 will read it perfectly.
Oh, Steph Curry.
Curry to Podziemski, open 3. Got it!
Make one extra pass, get Podziemski going.
Interesting game unfolding. 2 high-level defensive teams. Rockets have bottled up Curry, and yet the Warriors still have the lead. Dillon Brooks, and he's fouled.